Hello.
Hi, welcome to the tarot table here at the Bee and the Berries tarot shop right next to the Pizza Hut. So glad you found us today. We are here sitting at the tarot table to do a reading for our incredible commissioner and pod supporter, Mr.DC7.
Thank you, Mr.DC7. Oh my gosh.
And hello, how are you? Hope this reading is to your liking. Thank you so much.
So, Mr.DC7 says, last year on a December, I came across a speed bump, to put it lightly. Thankfully, these past 2 months of the new year went swell, especially this month, which got me asking, will the good times keep on rolling, or should I be prepared for another speed bump?
Great question. Mr. DC7 also said, P.S. Here's a screenshot of that one moment with Belle the Tinkerer in the Sonic IDW comics for the vibes. I'm gonna, if you're watching on YouTube, whoop, boop, there's the image. I flashed it. But it's just Belle, like, with her head fully rotated 180 degrees, sort of like bombastic side-eyeing. It's very funny.
Bombastic side-eye is great, honestly.
Okay, so this is the vibes. Let's start channeling the energy of Mr. DC7 into the deck, which Strawbz is going to do the pull for. We're doing a journey read. That's 4 cards for the journey, and we can, talk about what each card is as we go through it. But I am reaching into the cosmos for Mr. DC7 energy.
We're channeling Belle the Tinkerer.
Belle the Tinkerer.
Oh my
What
gosh.
does DC stand for, I wonder? As in Washington? As in, I'm trying to think of people with the initials DC.
Dove Cameron.
Dove Cameron, Mr. Dove Cameron. All I could think of is Dick Cheney.
And B, why don't you tell me when to stop for each card pull?
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I love that. Yes, I'm feeling it. Stop now.
Okay, next card.
Next card, right now. It's the first time I've gotten to say when to do the cards.
Perfect. This is the third one. We're now pulling the third one.
Third one. Stop.
Okay. And then last one.
Stop.
Oh, all right.
Okay, I was reaching. Those should be really good cards, Mr. DC7.
The first one, it is the Ace of Fire in the Dark Draw.
Ooh. The Dark Draw, isn't the Ace of Fire like silver ablaze?
No, it's a fire container. The second card is the Queen of Lightning Dark Draw.
Whoa. The Queen of Lightning. Who's that?
Yes. That is Rouge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Huge.
The third card is the King of Lightning Dark Draw.
Wait, that's Rouge and Shadow in the same pull?
Yes.
Wow. That's so sick.
And the final card, I'm flipping over. This is crazy. This is really crazy, actually.
What is it?
It's the Companion's card, also a dark draw. All of these cards are dark draws.
Whoa. Okay, but that's not necessarily a bad thing from the jump, Mr.
No.
DC7. Do not fear. You're serious? They are all upside down.
I am dead serious right now.
Woo. Wow. Okay, fascinating. All right, let me go through and do some reading.
Yes.
Just a quick reminder before I start synthesizing that the first card is the inciting incidents, the thing that starts you off on the journey. The second card is the prophecy or fortune, something that will guide you. The third is the obstacle, and the fourth is the destination. So we're talking about your upcoming journey after a rocky patch and then some peaceful times, and if there's anything you should be looking out for. Wow, this is a really wild draw to look at visually. All these cards upside down are really crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are the cards saying for Mr. DC7?
Okay. I want to be frank from the jump, Mr. DC7. This is a tough draw, but that does not mean that you are not equipped to handle obstacles. That does not mean that you are going to come up on obstacles in the near future. It just means that, like, times are tough and you're going to have to put in the work. to make sure that you're seeing yourself through it, and you can see yourself through it, period. Time continues and things will pass you by. So worry not as we do this reading, because there is still a lot of light in an otherwise dark draw.
Yes. And I would like to say, we at the Bee and the Berry are committed to doing authentic tarot pulls.
Yes.
So we pulled this, as blindly as we possibly could, channeling your energy. We do not tamper or do anything to the reading to otherwise manipulate what the universe has in store for us.
Who are we to intervene? We are but vessels and conduits.
Yes. So
doing our best.
Yes. So please know that, this was not modified in any capacity, and we want to give you the real honest reading. So
So we're starting with the inciting incident, and this is the Ace of Fire. Fire as an element is about motivation and passion. And so the dark draw is sort of telling me that you have this fire, you have this motivation, but the dark draw is that it's hard to get it moving. So if you've slowed or if you've stopped, it's hard to get the ball rolling again. And this is suggesting that maybe you're starting in a place of lethargy, or, you're in this moment of rest, and that you are, still in it, but potentially the world is going to keep moving around you, and you should be prepared for something that's coming, good or bad. Just that, you might want to check in with your energy and make sure that you have the motivation, because things will keep happening to you and around you, and you want to be present and motivated to face them. So the next card, which is the prophecy, is Slay Queen Rouge. Slay Queen boots the house down, Rouge, dark draw. Huge. And so both the prophecy and the obstacle in this deck are lightning cards, which can be about inspiration and flashes of desire or intuition, but can also be about being reckless and acting too fast or on judgments that maybe you haven't thought through entirely. So if we're looking at this in sort of a negative way, potentially you want to be wary of operating out of a place of recklessness, because lightning, which is shadow, is also the obstacle. But also on the flip side of that, your prophecy, your intuition is a strength. It's a part of the fortune that's going to see you through the obstacle. So I think you're working in a duality of intuition and insight in yourself, but then not acting rashly on that intuition and insight, but taking the time to make a decision, gather your resources, and continue on. So for Rouge in the dark draw, obviously this tracks. It's about being overly involved in your own desires, and being bitter towards people or things that take you away from this sort of self-centered POV. So it just is a caution to you against being cold-hearted. I think that's sort of if we're thinking about the prophecy and the fortune, which is where this card is at, it's cautioning you against looking for disaster or roadblocks or obstacles. It's easy when you start with a speed bump and then you get in the new year to think from a place of, when is the problem going to occur? And I would caution you against that, because it will set you up to be looking for the darkness or the things to be bitter or cold about, when really you should never want to or wish or manifest, hardship on yourself in that way. For Shadow and the obstacle, this is again about bitterness, cruelty, and also manipulation, and weakness. God, Shadow's such a complicated figure to have in your obstacle. And I think that tracks. Obstacles, they don't have to be huge, crazy roadblocks like whatever happened in December. They can be, this day your coffee didn't taste right and it ruined your day. And those tiny obstacles are what's going to really stack up this like bitterness, this resentment, this cruelty for when something big kind of sets you off. So I think like being aware that the attitude that you have on the daily is what's going to prepare you to be a little bit more steady when something big does happen. Yeah. And then the last thing, the destination, is companions. Okay, this is really good, I think, actually. Companions in the dark draw refers to your personal feeling that like dark clouds are hanging over you. Like you have been in a fog, things have been tough. Maybe you're anticipating more hardship because you haven't recovered from what happened in December, but you've equipped yourself from it for that, and you are trying to maintain balance, equilibrium, motivation, and follow your intuition without being cold. And the dark draw is here to remind you that things are not always as they appear. The sun is still there behind the fog, and you're just having trouble seeing it. So I think the destination is for you to put aside your feelings of what you think is hanging over you, what you do still feel hanging over you from the end of last year, and to reach and search for the sun, because it is there, and it always has been, and it always will be. So that's what I am getting for you, Mr. DC7.
Yeah, and I think, all of this is to say that, like, with this reading, the sense that I'm getting is to just, like, to acknowledge if you have any feelings, but try not to get too deep in the thick of it, to practice. It seems like practicing self-care might be a good way to navigate this journey. But I don't know. I think sometimes, like, we're not always gonna have, the best pulls, or, sometimes we're just gonna hit roadblocks. And I think it's always good to, not linger on it, just kind of take things one step at a time. But, sometimes things happen.
Yeah, things will always happen. So true. And I just think that this is still a really telling pull, just about like how we can get in our own heads about the darkness that is happening in our lives and sort of convince ourselves that things are really dire, and it's hard, and it's hard to keep moving during those times, but you have to, and you will, and you can. And I think also, like, just to get a little Sonic-y about it, to have Rouge and Shadow in your prophecy and obstacle just feels telling. Like, as characters, they can be sort of solo, independent, a little broody. And I think it's just a warning that potentially you might be leaning that way as you search for your way forward, or you anticipate obstacles coming. Like, don't be independent. Don't go looking for the darkness. Seek out the people and the things that are going to help you feel like the world around you is not a place of obstacles, but, like the past 2 months of the new year, going well, keeping the good times rolling, because they can.
Yeah.
And they are. But I don't know. I think that's really, really wild that Shadow and Rouge appeared in your deck. That's really sick, actually. Yeah. That's powerful. That's powerful. I think you're a powerful person with powerful intuition and moods, and you just have to be aware of how to use them. Yeah. A prophecy and an obstacle. They're two sides of the same coin. They are both a strength and a weakness for you in this time.
Yeah. And again, I mean, take what resonates, leave what doesn't.
100%. Yes.
We are conduits, but also you have the power to take things into your own hands.
That's right. There is always light behind the fog. Thank you, Companions card. Also really cute. I love in the Amy Rose Fortune deck, there's a little blurb above the Companions card where she says this is one of her favorite cards. It's about warmth and friendship and good times. Yes. So you mentioned yourself, good times. It is absolutely about the good times. It's just that in the dark draw, it's acknowledging that sometimes you have to search for them intentionally. So do that, Mr. DC7. Yes. Do it. You can do it. We at the Bee and the Beret believe in you.
Yes, we hope you enjoyed this reading, and thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And we will see you next time here at the Tarot Table.
Yeah. Ciao.